And people say it and it sounds so cliche, but it's really real. Like, sometimes we look at a person's chapter 22 and we compare it to like our chapter 1 or 2. You can't compare somebody's journey when they're much further in the book than what you are. Hi you guys, it's your favorite pretty girl Peeps here with some relatable content that you can use. So today's topic is just going to be how to level up. So we're going to talk about 10 steps, quick easy steps on how to level up in my viewpoint. This is my opinion. You can have different opinions and that's totally okay. So hopefully I'm looking in the right place now, but pretty much I'm sitting in the parking lot right now. My husband's about to run into the mall. Baby's in the back seat, chilling, watching her show. So if you hear something in the background, that's what that is. So pretty much gonna go through, so that's her. Gonna go through the 10 steps relatively fast. So the first step is going to be to assess your current situation. So before you move any further on the leveling up journey, you're going to want to assess where you are currently in your life. So when I say that, you want to assess your finances, assess your spirituality, your physical health, your mental health, assess your career, assess your relationship status if that's something that's important to you. When you service things like that, assess what is important to you and what you want to be important to you as you level up, as you acquire the life that you would like to lead. So like I was saying, that is going to be step 1, is to assess your current situation. So after you assess your current situation, you can actually go to step 2, because now you have something to actually work with. So step 2 is going to be, step 2 is going to actually be to set up a morning routine. So I know you're probably like, why is that one of the steps? So the reason why, and my husband, you might as well just creep over and say hi real quick.
Hi.
So the reason why you want, and my husband's such a morning person, it's ridiculous. He wakes up at like 4:30 to get to the gym at 5 most mornings. The reason why you want to have a morning routine is that the way you start your morning is going to set the tone for your day. The way you start your day is going to set the tone for your week. The way you start your week is going to set your tone for the month. The way you set the tone for the month is going to set the tone for the year. So hopefully that makes sense. Pretty much you want to come up with a morning routine, and everybody has something different that they put into their morning routine. It could be just waking up an hour earlier before work, so that you can, set the tone of your day. It can be praying, meditating, exercising, working out, talking to God, drinking some tea, drinking some coffee, but you want to set the tone for the day. Drink some water, drink some lemon water. Make sure that you get your day started off on the right feet, or the right foot, shall I say. So yes, that is step 2, is to get a morning routine. Even if you just wake up an hour earlier, because you don't just want to dive into work, or you don't just want to dive into school. You want to give yourself and your brain a little bit of time to actually, what's the word? You want to give your brain or your mind some time to actually work into the day, to start the day, to give you a fresh start to the day, if that makes sense. So yeah. So then step 3, and this can be something you do in the morning, at night, whenever, but I think it is really powerful to have a prayer and meditation, or prayer or meditation plan or routine set into place. And just to kind of piggyback on step 2, like my morning routine is normally wake up, pray, meditate, read my devotional. Sometimes if I have time, I'll read whatever current book I'm reading, knock out a little exercising, maybe knock out like a load of laundry, something like that, drink some tea. That's my ideal morning routine. Because I do have a child, a toddler, it just depends. Does she wake up on time? Did she fall asleep in her own room? Did she fall asleep in our room? It just kind of depends. But that's important. That devotional piece and that prayer piece is super important to me, which leads to step 3. Like I said, you either need to pray or meditate, or I suggest doing both. Pray and tell God what your intentions are. Thank him for the day. So, give that gratitude to him for waking you up for another day, for another morning, for another, or even before you go to bed, praying and thanking him for carrying through the day, from danger seen and unseen. You need to really talk to him about that. And then meditation, that's to clear your mind. If you're starting the day, that's to ask God to clear your mind, to reflect on things that you want to focus on the day. What I do is I normally pick 3 words while I'm meditating in the morning. Even if I'm just laying there with my eyes closed and I set an alarm for 10 minutes, I might pick 3 words like prosperity, productivity, and positivity. And those are the 3 words that I'm going to focus on for that day during my meditation. Sometimes I may take that a step further and actually like activate that and do like yoga, or listen to ocean sound, something like that. Step 4 is going to be, and hopefully my daughter's tablet isn't distracting you guys in the back. This is like one of the only times I can record. We went to a birthday party and it's like windy, snowing, all that at the same time, but it'll be a while before we get home. She's about to act a fool, act a clown. She really should go to sleep, but for whatever reason she's not going to sleep. But pretty much step 4 is going to be to journal. So journal about the good things, journal about the bad things. When you write it down and you release that energy, you allow good energy to come in. You allow a good space to come about you. You allow good thoughts to be within you. And you don't have to journal just bad things. You can journal the good things, journal your expectations, journal journal about what you want to do, journal about something new that you learned that day, something like that. So yeah. Okay, so now is step 5. Strategize and plan your goals. If you don't have a plan, you're planning to fail. If you don't have a plan, a failure to plan is a plan to fail. You know what I mean? So again, step 5 is making a plan, having a strategy, writing it out, typing it out, verbalizing it, recording yourself saying it in the mirror to yourself, stating what your intentions are for yourself, for the level up, stating what it is that you want to do differently, whether it's in your career, your relationship, how you dress, how you walk, how you talk, you want to learn a new language, whatever. You need to set your goals. You need to set your goals. Okay, by this date, I want to do this. Okay, by this time, I want to do this. In this amount of years, I want to do X, Y, and Z. And actually write it out. And then what I like to do is work backwards from the goal. So say for instance, if the goal is to acquire like my certificate I just got from Cornell in women's entrepreneurship, I will work backwards from that. So like I was saying, I typically work on my goals backwards. So like with the certificate, I knew I needed to take the classes, I knew I needed to research which classes to take, I needed to enroll. So I kind of work on my goals backwards. Or if you want to buy a house, it'll be the same thing. Okay, you have to get it appraised, you have to get an offer on the house. Okay, your credit score has to be a certain amount, a down payment has to be a certain amount. So you hit those goals little by little. You hit the small goals in order to hit your biggest goal. However you want to go about getting your goals is how you go about it, but I think it's important that you actually plan and strategize those goals, and clearly Mel agrees. So number 6 is going to be to acquire new knowledge and do research. So if you want to level up, you have to research how to level up. If it's something you've never done before, then you have to learn how to do it. So what that means is whether that's YouTube University, which is free, whether that's going to the library, which is free, whether that's taking a class at a community college or a regular college, or say for instance you want to learn to do hair, going to cosmetology college, talking to somebody who's done it before, acquiring that knowledge. Or if you want to learn Spanish, getting a subscription to Rosetta Stone or something like that, you have to actually put in the work to acquire the knowledge that is going to take you to the next level. Whether that's the next level in your career, in your life, in your health, you have to put in the work and do the research in order to go to that next step if you want to level up. Then step 7 is to find a mentor, and this can be a real or imaginary mentor. This can be like a mentor in your head, or this can be a physical person or a person you email. Finding somebody who's been in the shoes that you want to be in is very important, because they're going to be able to guide you and give you advice from a real-time perspective. So whether that's like one of my imaginary mentors is like, say for instance, Gary Vee. I take a lot of his advice to heart. I've tweaked a lot of his advice to help me do a lot of things. But I've never met Gary Vee in person. One day I probably will. See how you speak that to the universe. But he's one of my unreal mentors. But then I have mentors within my sorority, mentors within like my field, which is higher ed. So it's just finding someone who you can talk to, confide in, who understands the journey that you're trying to go on, whether that's in marriage or, you know, relationships or career or your health. Finding somebody who can kind of help you within your journey is super duper important. And then speaking of health is going to be number 8, which is get your physical health in check. So that means eating better. That means taking care of your body, your physical being, taking care of what you put inside of your body, taking care of what your outer appearance looks like. So, you know, I know everybody can't afford to go get manicures, pedicures, massages, all that different kind of stuff. But, you know, if that's something you want to do or learn to do, you can learn to do it yourself. You could do press-on nails. There's so many different options as far as that. As far as the gym, you know, you can get a gym membership for pretty low these days. YouTube has tons of workout videos. It's just a lot you can do. As far as eating in your diet, I think just meal prepping, planning your, and I'm one to talk because I don't do well with that, but planning your meals out before you get them, and just, you know, going to your physicals, going to the doctor to check up on yourself to make sure that you are okay, seeing if you're deficient in any vitamins, taking your vitamins every day. You know, you don't have to get the most expensive vitamins on the market, but taking a vitamin, especially if you know you're not eating your fruits and vegetables and all those things that you need to be doing, you need to supplement your body and put some vitamins inside of your body. So speaking of body, another thing that we typically tend to forget is going to be number 9. Make sure you're taking care of your mental health. A lot of people neglect their mental health and then wonder why they can't level up or why things aren't going well. You have to take care of your mind space, whether that's by meditating, whether that's using like the Calm app, whether that's seeing a therapist, which I know in our community is such a stigma with seeing a therapist, but I go to therapy and it definitely helps me. I wish I could go even more than what I go. But making sure you're taking care of your mental health, taking some mental health days from work, self-care, things like that, looking up ways to work on your mental health, looking up therapists, just a little bit of all that, just making sure you're taking care of your mind, because it is the one thing nobody can take away from you. The knowledge that you have, the resources that you have within your mind, no one can take from you. So it's very important that you take care of it. And then lastly, the last step on the level up journey is just to not give up. So I think a lot of times people are so close to their breakthrough or so close to getting to the next level, and right before they're about to jump on the next brick, the brick that's gonna take them to the next level, they give up. So I want to say step 10 is to not give up, to keep your eye on the prize, whatever that may be, and to get intentional about hitting that goal, to get intentional about making it happen. Whether it's, you know, okay, well, one of your goals is to get a 700 credit score. Don't give up at 650 and be like, you know what, never mind, this ain't for me. Keep going, keep figuring it out. You know, take a day or two off it and then come back on it. You know, making sure that you don't give up on that goal, that you see it through, whatever that goal is, whether it's relationships, health, you know, going to the gym and you're like, oh, you see all these people with all these bodies, but what you don't realize is, and people say it and it sounds so cliche, but it's really real. Like sometimes we look at a person's chapter 22 and we compare it to like our chapter 1 or 2. You can't compare somebody's journey when they're much further in the book than what you are. That just means like you just have to live your life and run your race for you. You can't give up because you see somebody shining over there, because you don't know the troubles and the trials and tribulations they had to go to get to the level they're at. So instead, run your own race, you know, rest if you must, but don't you quit, you know. So those are my 10 steps. I mean, I could definitely elaborate a lot more in terms of finances, in terms of just a little bit of everything, but I wanted to kind of make it generalized. If you guys want to see a more specific video on like health, relationships, finances, whatever, like I didn't touch on it, but that's a big part of leveling up too, is like assessing your budget and really seeing how much you should be spending, shouldn't be spending, taking care of your bills on time, things like that. That's a part of leveling up as well. So there's so much I could talk about in this video, but I don't want it to be a long video. But I do want, you know, if you guys have comments, questions, whatever below, I do want you to definitely chime in. This has been my 10 steps on how to level up. So yeah, it's your favorite pretty girl peeps, coming with some relatable content from your favorite pretty girl. And I hope you guys like, subscribe, and comment. And thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day.